Welcome back to SoccTalk. Roman and David here. We're going to talk to you today about the Wednesday matches of the last round of 16 UEFA Champions League matches. Okay, well, who do we have today? Juventus and Porto.
Juventus and Porto, guys. I think this one's going to be a low-key good one to watch. Juventus are the only team in the Champions League to win all three of their away games in the group stage. And Porto have only failed to score once at their home stadium in the Dragão in the Champions League knockout stages. But, of course, when you talk about Juventus, class from the goalie all the way up to the forward lines, Higuain, Dybala, Bonucci, Buffon.
I mean, you've got like a stacked team. You got really great leaders on that squad. Of course, starting with Buffon, who's gonna set up his team properly in the back. They actually play a 3-5-1.
Yeah, they've been kind of messing around with like a 3-5-1 or like a 3-4-3 in a sense. They've been kind of putting Mandzukic and Cuadrado out in the wings. It's
3-5-2.
Yeah, they've been kind of messing with the formations.
Yeah, and of course for them, they've got a star talented striker. You're in love with him. His name is Paulo Dybala.
Paulo Dybala is my love. He is so good.
He's really good. And,
so good.
A lot of teams are looking at him. You have Antonio Conte coming to Juventus matches just for him. He's expected to be, the next great star. So Juventus is just stacked going into this match. I don't think that Porto can really do much against them. I think Juventus is the favorite to win the Champions League this year because they're so good at defense. And I don't think they're going to let Porto score any goals in this matchup.
Roman, what do you think the scoreline is going to be for this one?
I think this one's going to be easy win for Juventus, 4-0 aggregate score. So that's what I think. What about you, David?
I also think it's going to be Juventus going through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. I'm going to go with a 4-1 scoreline on aggregate against Porto.
Expect Dybala and Higuain to put in some goals in these matchups. Our last matchup of the last 16 in the Champions League is Leicester City versus Sevilla. Now, personally, I think this is the worst matchup of the last 16. David, what do you think of these two teams?
Yeah, like you said, it's the worst on paper. Sevilla have never been past the round of 16 in their Champions League history. Both Sevilla and Leicester City have scored the lowest amount of goals in their group stage with only 7 goals scored. That's 7.
David could count.
Yeah, I can count. But also, you have to factor in how poor Leicester are doing domestically. They've only won 1 of their last 8 in all competitions, and that only win coming against Derby in the FA Cup replay, a 3-1 win after extra time. Yeah. So there are some serious concerns about this match. I don't know, Roman, what about you?
Honestly, this is probably the worst season you can play after winning a championship. And of course, nothing to take away from Leicester's unbelievable run last year in the EPL. They've been poor this season. They have not been able to take care of that loss of Conte and N'Golo Conte, of course, in midfield. They tried to sign some players. They haven't been working out. Ranieri looks all lost. And honestly, I think they're the worst team to ever play in the Champions League round of 16. And honestly, their performance is similar to the performance that my co-host has displayed today with his haircut and a goatee.
I think I look smashing.
But let's talk about the result of this matchup, David. I know you don't think Sevilla is great, but I just can't put the fact that they're playing against the worst team to grace us.
Well, give me a scoreline, Ram. What do you think?
I'm going to go with a 5-1 scoreline for Sevilla. I think they're going to take care of Leicester City easily at home. They're probably going to bag 3 goals at home, and I can expect them to score a couple more at Leicester City. What about you, David? What do you think this matchup is going to go to?
I think it's going to be real low scoring. I'm going to go with Sevilla winning 2-1 on aggregate. I think
you give Leicester a lot of credit.
I think Leicester are going to come out desperate. I think they're going to come out trying to score. I don't think they will score. I think it's going to be really tightly contested. But I think Sevilla in the end are going to come out in moving on to the quarterfinals. But guys, that's what we think about the second half of the round of 16 matchups. Of course, if you want to see our other videos and our other predictions, go ahead and check out our other videos. Like, subscribe, share, and if you want to listen to our podcast, go ahead and check that out too. We'll see you guys next time on SoccTalk.
SoccTalk. See you again.